Hey everyone, in Poonam's kitchen today I'll share with you the recipe for instant Urad Dal Kachori, also known as Bedmi Poori. I will share with you how to make both the fresh kachori and the instant 1-minute freezer kachori. Let's start. To make Bedmi Poori, here I have 1 1/3 cups of whole wheat flour, washed or skinless urad dal. This is the whole dal. You could also use split urad dal. I soaked 1/4 cup of urad dal for 8 hours in 2 cups of water, and the dal has swelled to now a little more than half a cup. I'll drain away the water from this. 2 cups tightly packed spinach leaves. These have already been sorted and washed. From amongst the spices, red chili powder, turmeric powder, salt, coriander powder, ginger powder also known as sant, fennel seeds. I'll be pounding these in the mortar and pestle, and hing. I'll also use water at room temperature to knead the flour, 2 tablespoon oil for kneading and rolling the disc, and oil for frying. I'll start with pulsing the spinach leaves and blending the soaked urad dal. I'm using a small chopping jar to chop the leaves. You could also chop them fine with a knife or kitchen shears. I'll pulse these a few times to get fine chops, like this. After chopping, the leaves have reduced to 1 cup in volume. I'll transfer the drained dal to the chopper. Now blend this dal to a paste which is neither very fine nor very coarse. Pulse a few times and then scrape the walls. Again pulse and again scrape. It takes a little while to blend. I'll add a tablespoon of water for some easy blending. Scrape the sides. Here I have the urad dal paste. It's neither very fine nor very coarse. I can feel the dal pieces in between my fingers. I used a total of 2 tablespoons of water to blend this. Now I'll knead the dough. To knead the dough, here I have a mixing bowl. I'll transfer the whole wheat flour. I pounded 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds. This goes in the flour. Hing 1/4 teaspoon. Dry ginger powder 1/4 teaspoon. Half teaspoon red chili powder. Half teaspoon salt. 2 teaspoon heaped coriander powder. 1/3 teaspoon turmeric powder. Give the spices a mix. To this I'll add a tablespoon of oil, just eyeballing it, and give this a good mix. Mix this all together. This will look like a crumbly mixture. To this I'll transfer the chopped spinach leaves and mix this in. Now when the salt comes in contact with the spinach leaves, it will make the spinach leaves ooze out some moisture. For now I'll mix this all together and let it stand for 2 minutes so that all the moisture is pulled out from the spinach leaves. And only after that I will add water to knead the dough. I can already feel this mix to be a little moist than before. Now I'll add water very little by little, 1 tablespoon at a time. We need a hard dough. It should be stiff, but it should be pliable, so it has to be kneaded well enough. I kneaded the dough for almost 4 minutes now. The dough is now ready. I used a total of 5 tablespoons of water. I'll make a ball of this dough, apply some oil on my palm, and smear it all over the ball so that this doesn't dry out. I'll now store this ball in the refrigerator in an airtight container for half an hour. Here I have the dough after half an hour in the refrigerator. I'll give this a final knead right here on this plate. Just make sure that the dough is still hard. If because of salt it has turned a little softer, then you could always add a little more whole wheat flour at this stage. I'll apply some oil on my hands and divide this dough into equal sized portions. I'll apply some oil on my palms and roll each of these portions between my palms to get smooth balls without any cracks. Here I have the 11 balls of the dough, and I've kept aside a little bit of dough to test the oil. I'll set the pan of oil to heat at high, and while the oil heats up, I'll roll the balls. Before starting to roll, I'll apply some oil on the rolling board, some oil on the rolling pin as well, a ball of the dough, and roll this evenly. I'll roll this a little thicker than our regular whole wheat flour puri. Now since I'm not using any dry flour, I'll have to pick it up from the board and then move it around for even rolling. I'm looking at a disc of around 4 to 5 inches. I'll put this aside and roll a few more balls before I start frying them. Now these are fresh puris. I'll be showing you the same puris when they are frozen. I keep these in the freezer and they come out equally great. I'm rolling evenly. I'm not applying any extra pressure on any one corner or any one edge. I'm rolling only on one side of the disc. I'm not flipping it over. Each time I move it, I roll on the same side. The oil is also hot now, and while you're rolling the puris, make sure that the rest of the balls are either oiled or they're covered with a moist kitchen cloth, else they tend to dry up. Let's check on the oil. I'll drop a piece of the dough in the hot oil. It's rising up quickly, floating on the top, means the oil is ready. I'll very gently drop one rolled disc. Give it 2-3 seconds and press it gently so that it gets filled up with steam. Once the oil is hot, you need to reduce the heat to medium-high, because this puri takes a little longer than the wheat flour puri to fry. The urad dal has to get cooked. See how it swells up? I'm holding it on a slotted spoon so that the excess oil can drain off. I'll transfer it to a paper towel. I'll show you one more. Drop this gently in the oil. Just a few seconds. While frying a large number of puris, you'll need to adjust the heat between high and medium-high. Very gently. This is what makes the puri puff up. See? It's puffed up. I'll flip this over and just look at the beautiful color of the puri. The green from the spinach peeping out. Make sure that you fry from both the sides. I'll switch off the heat for now, and I'll show you how to store the rolled discs in the freezer for future use. Here I have pieces of parchment paper. I'll place one paper at the bottom, top it up with one disc, another sheet on top of this. You could actually do this while you're still rolling, and do the same for all the rolled sheets that you wish to store. Now I'll transfer this whole bundle of rolled discs into the Ziploc bag. I'll zip it all the way, just leaving one small opening at the corner. I'll insert a drinking straw at this end and then zip up all the way. I'll suck out all the excess air from the Ziploc bag. Zip it up and store this in the freezer. I'll now show you how to fry the frozen puris. Here I have the rolled discs. At times these tend to stick to the parchment paper. In that case, you can always defrost them in the microwave for 10 to 20 seconds. But right now I'm able to remove them from the parchment paper without breaking them. I'll fry a few of these puris. Let me check on the oil. I'll drop a frozen disc in the hot oil carefully. In just a few seconds, it comes to the same temperature as the freshly rolled out puri. Press gently. Allow the puri to puff up. See how beautiful it puffs up? Roll it over and fry on the other side as well. You see there is no difference between the freshly rolled out puri and this one. And it takes less than a minute to fry. Make sure it's fried from both the sides. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked the recipe, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Poonam's Kitchen. We'll be back with a new recipe very soon. Bye.